In this video, we're going to be working on solving and writing multiplication equations. We've done addition and we've done subtraction, and now it's time to do multiplication. So we need to be able to solve them and write them, then solve them. So these are just equations that are already written for us. We need to be able to solve for the variable. Now this one is 2x equals 10. We can kind of in our head, we can mentally do this. What times 2 equals 10? We know that 5 times 2 equals 10. So right away I know that x is going to be 5. But I want to show you a different way to do this. It's using the opposite function of what it's using here. Um, kind of like when we wanted to, if we had a positive number and we wanted to get rid of it, we subtracted it. If we had a subtraction, then we added it. We're always doing the opposite. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So if I want to get x, all by itself, it's times 2, so I'm going to divide it by 2, and I have to do it on both sides. I want to be equal. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 1x, when I don't need that 1x is the same as x because of the identity property. So it's just x here equals 10 divided by 2 is 5. And if I check it, 2x equals 10. 2 times 5. Does 2 times 5 equal 10? It does. So you're good. Let's do another one right here. I want to get this x, this variable, all by itself. I'm solving for x. So it's a multiplication. I divide by 3, divide by 3. Do the same to both sides. And 3 divided by 3 is 1, so that's just x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. X equals 2. If I plug it in here, is this correct? 3 times 2, that does equal 6. We're good to go. Okay? Now you can also do it with fractions or with decimals. So again here, I have 3.28 times x equals 1968. I want to find out what the x is. I want to get that all by itself. So I have 3.28. I'm going to divide this by 3.28. And I'm going to divide this by 3.28. Okay? 3.28 divided by 3.28. You can do it on your calculator, but I know right away when it's the same number like that, it's going to be 1. So that's going to be x equals 19.68 divided by 3.28. You do that on your calculator, it's going to get you 6. Now with these I can just do in my head to check. This one I need to do, write it out just to make sure. So 3.28 times 6 equals 1968. I want to make sure that is right, so I'm going to do 3.28 times 6. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 4 is 16. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. And then I got to take my decimal out 2 times, in 2 times. I get 19.68, which is what I wanted right here. Okay? So, we're all good. When you have something times with the variable right next to it, when you're multiplying it, you just divide it by that same number on both sides. Okay? Now, let's come over here. We're going to do 2 word problems. We have to write it and then solve it. Okay? So Bob and some friends shared the cost of a package of CDs. The package cost $24. So the total amount they spent was $24. They each put in $6. Okay, so all these friends, we don't know how many there were. They all put in $6, which equaled the cost of 24. We need to know how many friends there were. So number of people is X. We know they each spent $6. So if they each did $6 times the number of people there were, okay? So if there was just 2 of them, then that would have cost $12. But they didn't just do $12. They paid a total of $24. Okay? So it's $6 times so many people got me all the way to the 24. Now, just like over there, I'm going to solve for x. So I have 6 here. It's times 6, so I divide by 6. And I do it to each side. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So that's x equals 24 divided by 6 is 4. So there must have been 4 friends. Let's check it out. 4 friends each spent $6. 6 times 4, 24. That is the cost of the package. Perfect. Okay? I wrote my multiplication equation, and then I solved for x. All right, one last one. It's right down here. Sue and Sally, they walked 720 miles. They walked a long way. And it took them 80 days. So they walked a long way, and it took them a long time. They walked the same amount each day. What we want to find out is how many miles did they walk each day. So we know they walked a total. Oops, 720, not 780. The total equals they walked the 720. That was their total. It took them 80 days. Now, how many miles did they walk each day? That would be the x. That's the variable. We don't know that. I'm going to do it right here. 80 days times so many miles a day is going to get me all the way to the 720. Because if say they walked 10 miles a day, so it'd be 80 times 10, then they would have walked 800 miles. So I know it's a little less than 10, but I haven't set up the correct way here. So I want to get this x all by itself. That'll tell me how many miles they walked a day. Okay? So it's times 80, so I divided by 80. And I divided by 80. Okay? You can do this on your calculator if you want. 80 divided by 80 is going to be 1. So that's x equals 720 divided by 80. You can do it on your calculator. I know it's going to be 9. And because I think it's 9, bigger numbers, I'm going to check. 80. So 80 days they walked. I think they walked 9 miles a day. And if they walked 9 miles a day for 80 days, they should have walked 720 miles. So let's check it out. 80 times 9. 9 times 0, 0. 9 times 8 is 72. 720. Okay? So we wrote the multiplication equation, and then we solved for x, and we got the information we needed. All right. So hopefully this makes some sense to you. Whenever you have it set up where it's a multiplication and you need to solve for the variable, you do the opposite. You divide each side by that number. Okay. There are some problems for you to practice, and then we'll work at this more in class.